Hello, good morning. Good morning, beautiful people. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. It's a beautiful Monday. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good morning. I'm a little early today. Just feel I should just pump in and just say a few things this morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you? Ekaro, good morning. I would have loved to call in, sir. This suit me. Oh, okay. You calling. Oh, you're in a meeting. That's fine. Sandra Minia. That's my own beautiful Sandra. All right, good morning, everybody. First time here. Okikiola. Okay. Good morning. Sonda. Unstoppable. And when you're mean, that's one of my own people right there. Good morning, Busola. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Please go ahead and share this video. Go ahead and share this video. Go ahead and share this video. And good morning to everybody. All right. I believe a lot of people are connecting from the US, some connecting from the UK, some people connecting from Nigeria. I can see that. So, good morning, everybody. Uh, so, let's get to this business real quick. Let's get to this business real quick. All right. So we can be able to finish on time before Facebook, before YouTube we actually block me off. Okay, so let's get to it. I always come online and to talk about marriage all the time. And I've been very practical about this. Very practical about this. You're talking to me, Pastor. Okay. So I've been very, very practical about this. Moment two issue day sale coco. Moment two issue day sale coco. We call a spade a spade. And it's very important for us to do so that we all, it's possible for us to go home and actually go back and think about what we have been going through and now seek for the right counsel from the right people. Okay. One thing I did, and I think you guys should do the same sometime, is I I took a break for a minute to sleep for 14 hours. I went to sleep for 14 hours just to reset my head. It's a little challenging. Very, 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 very. It's challenging to live in this world that we live today. Fisayo, how you doing? It's a little challenging, to live in this world that we live today. Everything all around is so challenging. So challenging now. If you have a job, that job is temporary. Sometimes you just hear people say to you that I just lost my job. If you have a wife or you have a husband, these days it's kind of like really temporary. That you just notice that someone just got divorced some few days ago, some few months ago, some few years ago, you know, and it's just crazy. You will see people with money today and tomorrow they're broke. It's very, very challenging that you see people dancing today and tomorrow it's a time of sorrow. And that's the reason why the Bible says that it's time for everything, time to be happy, time to be sad, and all that stuff. And these days, you see that money is a little scarce. It's difficult to make money these days. Money is not coming in. People are trying as much as possible to save money. Everything is very, very um, expensive right now, especially in Nigeria. Even here in the US, things are getting a little expensive right now. And the responsibilities that we have is not going away. It's not going away. It's not reducing at all. It's the same. School fees the same. Cost of living is the same. Uh, you know, everything is the same. The rent is the same. The amount of money you spend in buying gas is the same. Um, you know, everything is kind of like crazy right now. And then it's now coming into affect us in the marriage because marital situations just doesn't come by itself. There are so many different factors that could cause it, and one of them is money. Money is actually one major one that you know could cause marital difficulty, marital challenges, marital issues, and most of the time we always want to hide away and shy away from this. It's crazy. I got gas for over $3 last week at Costco. Things are getting expensive all over the world. I know. So you see that your husband is behaving one kind right now. You see men are becoming so cranky right now. Women are kind of like a little bit, not happy at the moment because everything is kind of like really changing. Everything is changing. So I so I decided in myself that, you know what, it's time to have a 14-hour sleep. Yeah, I did. I got it. And I feel good now. I feel good right now. I'm ready to go ahead and just face the music and dance to it. All right. And I think you guys should do the same. Do the same. Take a little time off um, and sleep. During the time you're sleeping, your body is going to actually reform itself. I also think not setting the right boundaries with in-laws is always a major issue. Another one right there. Okay, so take a little time, sleep. Thank you, Tosin. Take a little time, sleep, and then when you wake up, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, you are gonna think in a different way, and you're gonna feel different also. Right now, I'm still a little draggy, but inside of me, I inside of me, I am feeling that, feeling of, yeah, I'm ready. The strength is a little back. The vision is clearer. I'm able to think properly. My body is kind of like really calm. I'm no longer in a hurry like I used to. Like I used to. I'm not. Okay. So I took 14 hours of sleep away from all things. Turned my phone off. I turned my phone off for 14 hours. I've not responded to any phone calls. No, I've not. Before I would keep my phone next to me, and every time that would be, brr, 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 I'll wake up and talk, 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 talk. No, I didn't. I turned the phone off totally. And my wife actually was coming in. She told me she was coming in to check on me, coming in to check on me. This guy is sleeping, sleeping, sleeping. He didn't wake up at all and stuff. I was like, okay, so what did you do? Within that 14 hours, she was like, she was on the couch and she was watching TV. And I said, you better go and take a nap also. Instead of you watching over me, you better go and take a nap and treat your own self to a very good sleep. And when you wake up, you're gonna feel good also. Um, So I did, and I woke up this morning, uh, like around, I don't know, maybe 7 or so, or something to 8. And I jump out of bed, I feel so good, and I was like, yeah, let me go to the bathroom. I spent probably like 20 minutes in the bathroom, just thinking, and I feel good. I feel very good. The life that we live is not allowing us to sleep. Even when you go to sleep at night, you're not really sleeping. Your body is not sleeping, your mind is not sleeping. You just closed your eyes. And by the time you wake up in the morning, you still feel that burden is still there in your heart. That burden is there. Your body is still weak, and your head is not working correctly. Take a little break. Take a little break. Sometimes we tell ourselves that I'm going to go to I'm going to go on vacation. When you go on vacation, you're still working. When you go on vacation, your phone is still next to you. When you go on vacation, you'll still be worried about one thing or the other. The only time I don't worry is whenever I go to Nigeria. Whenever I travel to Nigeria, I leave all my problems and everything on the plane. And the moment I get down from the plane in Nigeria, high blood pressure will disappear. No more high blood pressure for me. All right. And then I don't think about bills. I don't think about anything. I just go to Nigeria and I'm just looking for the nearest Amala joint. I just go in there, I just eat Amala, 700 naira, and that's it. And then I go home. Then I go to the hotel and sleep. And when I wake up, yeah, I feel good. For real, I feel so good when I wake up. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So, Nigeria is actually the place that I go to and I feel so good. When I go to Nigeria, I feel so good. When I actually, when the plane touches down in Nigeria, it's a different ball game for me. The place is actually a place of healing for me. When I go there, I think it's a place where I connect. I connect. That's the place I was created. In Nigeria. When I get there, I feel good. I feel so good. Just give me amala, amala. Just amala. That's enough to cure every sickness in my body. Everything, every anxiety, every trouble, every worry, everything that is in me will just totally be gone within that time. All right. But I cannot last more than 2 weeks. I can't last more than 2 weeks in Nigeria. After 2 weeks, I'm actually worried. I'm worried. I want to go back home to America. And the moment I jump back on the plane, that's when I start hearing something pumping, somewhere. And I'm like, oh my God, this blood pressure is back. And the blood pressure will come back because now I'm going to start thinking about how do I pay my mortgage? How do I, pay my car note? How do I do this? I need $10,000. I need this amount of money. So 2 weeks, I'm done. I want to go back, to it. And that's what I think we should always do, that sometimes we run away from all of this stuff. The problems will always be there. They will sit down and looking at you like this. Problems will look at you right in your face. You can't run away from them. They're always there. They wait for you. Bills will always wait for you. If you decide not to pay your mortgage this month, next month they're going to actually put it together with the one you're going to pay. So there is no way you can run away from it. But even with that, you need to take a little break and just go ahead and sleep. Sleep and turn everything off. Just sleep. Let God just handle your situations for you. All right. So when you wake up, then you have enough money to actually say, enough idea. The creativity is going to be there for you to say, yeah, I think I'm ready to face this whole situation right now. And then you go ahead and face it. Living in America is a different thing. Living in England, living in Canada is a different ball game entirely. People they didn't give us the right education when we were coming. We thought that, okay, let me just go to the US. By the time I get to the US, my problems will leave and I will be freed and I'll be happy. Coming to America is not like that. It's it's a whole lot. The system here is designed to make you, to allow you to make money and at the same time to collect the money from you. at the same time to collect the money from you. Okay, and that's the reason why you need to be prepared, and then you know how to live here. You know how to live here. All right, so let's jump into the topic for today. Depression uh, is real. Marital situations or marital issues could lead to depression if not handled properly. How do we or how should we handle marital issues so it's not going to result into depression? Some people are depressed right this moment. I'm speaking right now. Some people are so depressed, and some people are depressed, but it's possible for them not to know. It's supposed for them not to know. And that's the reason Nigerians always blame everything on powers and principality because of lack of knowledge, lack of understanding of what is going on in their lives, lack of what's going on, in the system. And they are there in the system, in the country, and they are in relationships right now. And some of them are married right now, and they are depressed. But, for them to understand that the reason for the depression is because of handling marital situations properly, handling it properly. They do not understand how to, so they always believe that they always believe that it's everything is powers and principality, everything is the devil, everything is one particular old woman in the village, one old woman in the village with gray hair or white hair, that is actually, at the center of my case. And that's why church is making money. The churches all around are making money right now because everybody's running to the church just to look for a way to kill their enemies and stuff. And the enemy is actually within. And, you know, you've not been able to know that because you don't have the right understanding about your relationship. You don't have any understanding about what you're going through. So my job today is to give you an idea of what you're going through and how to deal with them. So marital situations, we're talking about, infidelity. We're talking about lack of communication. We're talking about lack of respect. We're talking about, different things. All right, and we all are inside of it. We're in the middle of it. We're all in the middle of it. You can never find a marriage or a relationship that is 100% perfect. None, none, none. There is nothing like a perfect marriage. There is nothing like that. Nothing. If anybody is telling you I'm happily married, that person is just joking. They don't understand what happy marriage is all about. They're just joking. Jokers are everywhere. Jokers are everywhere. They just joke, 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 joke. Oh, I'm happily married. I'm happily married. No, no, you are happily married by faith. You're only talking by faith. You're talking, oh yeah, by faith. All right. Yes, everybody's happily married by faith. But in the real sense of it, we're not. We are all facing so many different things. And those things we are facing, they are killing us gradually. They are killing us gradually. Everything we're facing, killing us gradually. And we're still inside of it. And we're praying. It's good to pray. It's good, very good to pray. It's good to fast and pray. It's very, very good to call upon the Lord of Isaac, Jacob, and Abraham to come over and rescue us. It's very, very good for us to do so. And we're doing it. But if you refuse to handle that situation properly, it will end up in depression. And some people don't understand what depression is, and they don't know the symptoms of depression. Sometimes, you ask people, are you depressed? They will say no. They say, do you have friends? They say no. Do you go out? They say no. Do you talk to people? They say no. And that's a sign. That is actually a sign. That is actually a sign. That's actually a sign of depression right there. If you are withdrawing yourself from people, you're withdrawing yourself from people. You don't want to go out and mingle with people. You don't want to go out and talk to people. You don't want anybody around you. It is a sign of depression that you are actually a loner. You're living your life by yourself. You're staying in your home by yourself. You'll find you find you find it very difficult to go outside. You don't go to parties. You don't go to church. Don't go to any meeting. You just stay in your house, and that's what you do. It is a sign. It's a sign of depression right there. When you are isolating yourself. When you are isolating yourself. Another sign that you need to know is when you feel sad within you. Every time you wake up, there's this sadness inside of you. Sadness all the time. You don't you don't feel any moment, no moment of joy at all. 24/7 in your heart is always sadness upon sadness upon sadness. All right, you are actually pissed off and angry about every little thing and all kinds of stuff. That's another sign. That's another sign of depression right there. Another sign. When your depression start growing up and building up, you start thinking of committing suicide. You're like, I just feel like I want to end this. I want to end. Whenever you're thinking about you want to end something, it means you're depressed. You're a depressed person. You're a depressed person. When you start thinking of committing suicide, all right, the level of depression is increasing in you, and now you just feel like, okay, the best way to get out of all of this misery is for me to just take my life. Then when you start thinking about taking your life in marriage, it means that you're depressed. That's it. And then when you find out that you are not productive, you are not productive at all. That is, you are stagnant. Some people say, oh, procrastination is just normal. It's not a normal thing. When people procrastinate, it means they're depressed. When you say to yourself, oh, I'm going to do it tomorrow, and then tomorrow will come, and then you say, I'll do it tomorrow, then tomorrow will come, and you're not doing anything. It means you are stagnant. You are not happy. You don't have direction, all right, at all. In your life, you're a stagnant person. And a lot of people are going through this same stuff right now, and they just feel it's normal. It's not normal. It's not normal, and you don't feel any sense of value and worth in your life. Any sense of worth in your life, and you just want to sit down right there, and you feel like, okay, I'm nobody, or I don't even like myself. Low self-esteem is affecting me. I know low self-esteem. But where is your cup of tea? You need some kind of liquid to clear your throat. I know I have water here. And you don't have any your self-esteem is actually going down to zero. Somebody killed it. Somebody killed it. And somebody saying something, I say that is wrong, sir. I stay and work from home. I don't go to church or party. Not much friend, and I fully okay. That's not a sign of depression. You are joking you are joking with yourself, Tim. You are really joking with yourself. You're joking. You don't go to church. It's not a good idea not to go to church. If you are a happy person, you want to spread your happiness. If you're a happy person, you want to spread your happiness because people need your happiness. If truly you're happy, if truly you're a good person and you're okay, you don't just keep your fire to yourself. There is nobody with light that want to keep the light to themselves. You don't want to keep your light to yourself. You want to spread your light. You want to touch other people's lives. All right, you're just joking. You're joking with yourself. All right. Me as a pastor, yesterday I wasn't feeling too good. I didn't want to go to church at all. I didn't want to go to church at all yesterday. But there is a fire inside of me that actually told me, no, you gotta go. There are people waiting for them to be touched. You need to help other people. You don't just stay in your house and you're telling yourself, oh, I'm a happy person. Okay, how are you happy? Who is the person? You're not the one that will tell us you're happy. You are going to be the one doing the work, and then we will be the one to say, oh, this is a happy man here. You don't tell me you're happy. You can't tell me you're wise. Is you're wise, you have not been solving people's problems. You're wise. You have not been touching others. We are the ones that will tell you you're a wise man. You are knowledgeable. We don't even share part of your knowledge. We are the ones that will tell you that you are wise. We are the ones that will tell you you're wise. You're not the one that will tell us you're wise. You will be the one to show us what you have. It is what you have that will bring you to limelight. It is what you have that will prove that you are good, you are happy, and you're good. All right. Staying alone by yourself is not going to prove anything to us. All right. So you don't hide inside of your cocoon and you're telling everybody, yeah, I'm fine. No, you don't do that. You know, people that are happy, people that are good, people that are doing well, they come outside to come and touch others. You see, the proof of a happy person, when somebody's happy, is that when you spread that happiness. Somebody saying, what's the sense of going to church and listen to lies and choke feel worse than when you go? You don't go to church to get filled with lies. People, you're supposed to be a filter. It's supposed to be a filter. It is not everything that people say in church that I actually agree with. All right, it's just like me talking right now. Some people don't agree with me. They just keep quiet and just listen. And then when they find something that is actually good for them to agree to, then they agree to that one. And then they build their lives. Nobody's an island. You're not supposed to be an island to yourself. Number one, when you go to church, you're not going there to listen. You're going there to walk your way into collecting that microphone and now become a teacher. And then you teach what is on the inside of you. And that's why in my church, I don't just I'm not the only one just talking. No, because sometimes I don't even know what I'm saying. All right. So I need some other people to come on the stage with me. Let's talk about this stuff. If you visit my church one day, the second day you come to church, you'll be on the stage, doing something and saying your own mind. That's how I run it. Nobody's an island. I don't know it all. I can't prove to know everything. All right. So I need to learn from you. I need to learn from your experience and what you know. And that's how people grow. You grow by teaching others. You don't grow by just sitting down listening. And that's one thing I see about a lot of Nigerian people. They just want to go to church and listen to one pastor just preach. No. Ask them. You will see. Some of my members are actually on this line right now. They're going to tell you, the second day you visit my church, the second day you come, you're going to be on the stage doing one presentation or the other. You're going to sit down with other people on the stage, and then we want to know what you have. People run away from my church because they don't want to be challenged. They don't want to be challenged. As somebody's asking, my own friend is asking here, what's the difference between church goers and tithers? Is it tithers that don't go to church? I don't understand that. Is it tithers as in like people who give tithes or what? Now, there are people who go to church. There are people who go to church. They go to church just for going. Say, some people go to church to go and look for women to sleep with. Some women go to church to go and look for boyfriend. Aristo these days has been made it has been made easy. Within the church, you see people going to church to do aristo. They get dressed up in the morning. All they're targeting is to find a guy in the church that will sleep with them and pay them and give them money. That's prostitution. It's within the church. All right. Because you go to church doesn't make you a Christian. Okay. And I think that's what my friend is trying to ask me. Because you go to church doesn't make you a Christian. All right. When you see men in church, they actually in church to look for the girls to sleep with. All right. Some people come to church. Like yesterday, one woman came to church. She wanted to come over and sell insurance. She sat down in the congregation, she was looking, and all through the whole service, she was on her phone. All what she was waiting for was, let me wait until the end of the service so I can actually reach out to people, collect people's phone number. And that was what she did. All right. That person is not a Christian. That person is a business person. They come to church, they sit down in church, and then all they're looking for is the right opportunity for them to do their business. They just want to come in, sit down, and do their business. Some people come to church all because they just want to come there to criticize. They come there to criticize, the choir didn't sing well, the pastor didn't preach well, this one didn't do well, and all kinds of. Those ones are not Christians, all right? They just come to church, all right? But the church, the real Christians, they come to church to grow. They come to church to grow, and secondly, they come to impact lives, all right? If you have what you say you have, at least that you have a light in you. The Bible says, let your light so shine. And your light is supposed to be shine. You're supposed to take your light to the darkness. Your light must go to the darkness. Your light is not supposed to stay with you. Your life is not supposed to be hidden. All right. Your light's supposed to go outside and shine to people who are in darkness. And what you go into the church to do is to impact life and touch life. I was able to see a woman came to church, and the very first day that she came to church. She came to meet me after the service. Sorry, sir. What do you want me to be doing in church? Those are the kind of people I want. You see, God already gave you a congregation, and that congregation are people that you're supposed to affect and touch. All right. So when you come to church, don't just be a bench woman, just sit down there. No, bring that knowledge out. Okay, tell the pastor I'm a Bible teacher. Tell the pastor I'm a singer. Tell the pastor this is what I do, and I want to impact people. And by doing so, you are not just only impacting the people, you are impacting the pastor also. All right, you are impacting. Now, one thing, okay, if you say the truth, all right, they might kick against the truth and they might say, oh, you don't come to church anymore, or they might remove you from everything. But one thing I want you to know is that you've been able to sow a seed already, planted a seed inside of that congregation that will never die, because it's the truth. The truth can never be hidden. It can never die. People will always make reference to that particular moment that you said that thing. All right, that thing that you just said is actually the truth. And then even the pastor himself will understand that, will go home and think, okay, about that stuff. So, I don't want people, like, when people come to my church, I always tell them I am not looking to babysit people. I don't want to be a babysitter. All right, I'm looking for grown men or people who are ready to grow and become a tree, so that you too, you can shield other people. Okay, like what I'm doing, I want other people to do the same also. Do what I'm doing. All right. So when people come to church, they're not coming to church alone to just come and worship God. They come to church to impart other people. What God has given to you, you need to actually come and share it with the other people. You come and share it with other people and sit down right there. You see, let us not look at the example of what is going on in the society today. Let's not look at the churches that are going, those churches in existence right now, who are actually looking for ways to actually take money from people, defraud people, use the money for themselves. There are still good churches. I want to let you know there are still good churches whereby people are. It's a support group. A church is a support system. A church is a place that you come, that you have friends. A church is a place that you come, that you have the right support to make money, the right support to start business, right support to actually stay married. Because at the church, they teach you how to be a good woman, how to be a good man, how to be a good father, a good everything. All right. That's the way it is. That's the way it's supposed to be. Even as a commander, we can share jokes too, right? Of course, people can come to church and share jokes. That's what you love to do. Inside of jokes, there are truth inside of jokes, and you will see that. You see that a lot of movies are coming out right now. A lot of movies are coming out right now, actually exposing the secret of the church. A lot of movies are coming out, like Ijakumo. Ijakumo just came out. We're able to see there are some pastors that are not called by God. Some pastors that are not called by God, they are only called because they are hungry. They were hungry. And then they are in the ministry just to collect money from people. They still go all around, sleeping around and doing all kinds of stuff. Because we have a bad doctor, because you have a quack doctor, doesn't mean that we do not have good doctors. Because we have bad presidents, doesn't mean that we do not have good presidents. Because we have bad companies, okay, doesn't mean that we do not have good companies. Because we have bad people, doesn't mean we do not have good people. If you close your eyes for bad people to pass you, good people are going to pass you at the same time. All right, it is just you yourself. You have to know what you're looking for. I've been saying this and I've said it many times. Don't go to a church because my friend attends the church. Go to the church because the life of the pastor is actually what I'm looking for. This guy has got what I don't have, and this guy will teach me and show me the way. In 5 years' time, this is what I'm going to be. You see, so many people go to church and then they sit down there. In 17 years, they're still going there. They're still sitting down right there, and they have not become anything yet. The church is a support group. Don't go to church because the church is big. Go to church because there is something inside of this man of God that I think I love. There's something inside of him that I want to copy, and I want him to teach me. Don't go to church because that church is making money. Don't go to church because that church is actually one of the greatest churches. The name is just all around the place. Go to a church where you could be impacted, a church that you will become somebody. That a church that when you stay there for 5 years, you're going to turn around and say to yourself, yeah, now I know I'm coming to church. Don't go to a church where they share revelation. When you go to a church where they share revelation, and you will see that you will not get any result. Okay, recently I made a video about all of these pastors on social media. They will say, oh, this is what's going to happen to Tinubu, this is what's going to happen to the government, and nothing is happening to those people, and you're seeing it right there, clear, and you still want to go to that church. It's a waste of your time. I've been saying it many times, just like this brother just said. He said, you are still not convincing us to join church. I beg. I know. You might not understand it. It is you. It is not a pastor. You chose to go to those churches. You are the one who chose to go to those churches. Okay, the guy put a signboard outside, said, "Come over here," and you went there. If you sit down in a church and you listen to his preaching the first time, that's enough to tell you this is not the place for me to come to. You see, knowledgeable people who are wise, they go, they test something, they listen to something, they look at it. Is this the kind of place for me? No, it's not. Every church is not the place for you. They can write any kind of signboard outside. People might be trooping in there. It might not be for you. All right? It's likewise marriage. Some people are married. Okay, because people are getting divorced, should we say marriage is a scam? Should we say it? Some of us are enjoying marriage because we chose the right person. Okay, take your time to choose the right person. People are going to the jobs and then they say, "Oh, I don't like this job." Because you don't like the job doesn't mean that other people are not liking it. The job is for them. That job is not for you. And then you got to leave and go find something that will do it for you. All right, we don't have to condemn church and say, "Okay, oh, all churches are bad." No, it's not all churches that are bad. There are churches that are doing great things and marvelous things for people. So you yourself supposed to understand, I got to go test run this thing. Don't just jump into a church and say, "Oh, I'm going there." Or because they say revival means that it's for all. It's not. There are brilliant people. All right, brilliant people go to brilliant churches. They go to places where they don't indoctrinate them. You see, churches of today, they just indoctrinate people. They come and stage miracles and all in the name of they want to collect money from people. They just collect the money. But you supposed to know this is not for me. Okay? Nobody could force you. Nobody's forcing you to go to any church. You choose. And that's why we say choose your friends. Don't let your friends choose you. Okay? Find a place where you could grow. Find a place that will give you opportunity that you will grow. Find a place that they will give you that opportunity to display what is on the inside of you. I would not go to a church where they actually convert me to a bench woman. I'm not going to go there. I told my church members, I said, everybody in this church must become an evangelist. What do I mean evangelist? Evangelist doesn't mean you carry evangelist title. Like evangelist this person or evangelist. No, I want your character to preach. I want your lifestyle to preach. I want your marriage to preach to others. So the way you do it, let other people see you and say, "Oh, I want to emulate this person. I want to be like this person." All right, don't just come to church and we're not able to see any sign of Jesus in you. We're not able. People come to church and they're still sleeping around. People come to church and they're still doing 419. People come to church and they're still, they're doing all manners of things, lying and doing all manners of different stuff. Your life is not preaching nothing. Your life is not preaching nothing. All right, and that's the fact. All right, the church is a support group. You cannot run away from support group. There will be a day you're gonna need people, and the Yoruba people will say, "In your last show me." Okay, and then when we now come to the issue of money, money is actually very needed in church, and that's why we have the finance team. And the money is not going to the pastor. In any church where you see that the pastor is the one that is actually holding the money, taking the money home, and that's enough sign for you to say, this place is not for me. I need to go to a well-organized place, a place where there's accountability. The pastor shouldn't take the money home. The money belongs to the society. All right, what do we do with the money? Or when people when people donate money and they give offerings and all kinds of stuff, the church support and all kinds of stuff, the money is meant to pay for the auditorium. I don't believe that you guys should be expecting the pastor to be paying for the auditorium at the same time. All right, it's not. That's not his responsibility. It is our responsibility to do so. He himself is supporting the church financially. As a pastor, he's supposed to put his own money into it. And everybody's putting their money into that stuff. And then the next thing we do, the finance department will look at how much is the rent. And then they pay off the rent, they pay electricity, they pay for gas, they pay everything. And that's what the money goes to. And another thing that the money goes to is that it's difficult these days for you to find a gospel artist that will come and sing in your church without expecting to be paid. Everybody wants to get paid. I'm not blaming them. All right, for that. If the pastor is going outside and is collecting honorarium, so also the musicians will come outside and they collect honorarium also. So when they come like that, they're expecting to get honorarium. It is part of the money that you donate as a person, as an individual, as a member of the church, that they must to use to pay those people to say thank you for coming to be a blessing to us. It's difficult these days for you to find a musician. a instrumentalist, like a gongon guy. A gongonist will collect $250 from you on a Sunday morning. The church will be boring without music. I've been doing that. I've been doing that a lot. I play the keyboard by myself. I created a beat and I play the keyboard by myself and I sing by myself. Okay, we are saving money for the church, but it's actually a burden on me that I got to do everything. Okay, I'm the one that is playing the keyboard. I'm the one that is actually, syncing the music. I'm the one leading praise and worship. I'm the one that is doing this. Then I'll be the one to come and preach at the same time. I'm going to get exhausted. And at the end of the day, it's not going to be a long time before I die. And that's the reason why the money is needed. The money is not needed because the pastor is hungry. The money is needed because we have to run the church. All right, pay for the utility, pay for the bills of the church, pay for instrumentalists and all kinds of that who are coming, so that the church will actually be able to function the right way. We'll be able to function the right way. Then if you decide, okay, pastor, we don't want you to work anymore because we see that we're taking a lot of your time, you can actually go on full time. So if the pastor decides, okay, I want to go on full time based on the knowledge the request of the church members, all right, then the pastor could be placed on a salary, and that salary will be reported to the government, so he's paying tax from the salary, and then he will remain in the church office just to attend to people. Let me tell you guys something. A pastor is a therapist. If you don't know, a pastor is a therapist. All right, is a therapist. All right, if you don't understand that fact, a pastor is a therapist. And what is his job? His job is to attend to your situation every time you come to him. Every time you come to him. Every time you come to him. You must attend to your situation. And that's why majority of you will call pastor, I'm having a baby, the pastor will run down there. I need to name my baby, the baby pastor will run down there. I have a situation in my life, the pastor will run down there. I have this going on in my marriage, the pastor will run down there. We run down there. And that's how the work of a pastor is. That's how the work of a pastor is. I'm not a full-time pastor. I have my businesses that I run. I have my job that I do, and I make my own money, and I pay my own support to the church just to run the church. That's how I do my thing. All right. For people who are actually so mad and pissed off at the church, is because you have been attending the wrong place. Don't make a conclusion. Don't make a conclusion. Don't make a conclusion about church being bad. There are bad people everywhere. And there are bad churches, bad pastors, but there are still good ones. And if you end up in a bad church, it's your fault. It's not the fault of the guy. The guy put the signboard outside. It's your responsibility to look very well. To look very well and say to yourself, I'm not going over there. I'm not attending this church. I want to go to this one. And when you go to that one and the pastor is actually preaching good, and the pastor is accountable, accountability is actually his watchword, and the pastor is transparent, and you will see all of that stuff right there. It's just like when I grew up in the Baptist church. I grew up in the Baptist church, and Baptist church, they will teach you the truth. You can never see any Baptist pastor flying a jet. You can't see them. They only earn salaries, and the salary you give them is just the same salary people get when they work for the government. And that's what they get. They pay tax on their own salaries and stuff, and that's what they use. Apart from gifts that people give to them after you go to name babies, you go to dedicate houses and all kinds of stuff. That's the way it is. They just get that, and then they go home and they live their normal life. It's not right for a pastor to be poor. It's very good for a pastor to be wealthy, to be rich, because people will not follow you. The people will be asking you, but you are the one preaching God can do it. God can do it. God can do it. But why is God not doing it in your life? Why are you still begging for bread? And that's why I always advise pastors, have a side business. Like Paul. Paul was a tent maker, and during his own time, he was doing the work of God. At the same time, he was working in his own business also. So for a pastor to just be idle and just sit there and be making phone calls, and be praying for people, sharing revelation to people, for me, is a disgrace. You're supposed to teach those people how to pray by themselves. Teach them to hear God. And when you become an example to them on how to hear God and all kinds of stuff like that, you will find out that your life will be very easy, because they won't have to call you all the time. Now they know God, and nobody will be able to lie to them. All right, that's exactly the way it is, and that's how it's supposed to be. All right. So I understand that so many of you guys, you have actually fall victim of a lot of bad pastors out there. But don't make your conclusion based on that. All pastors are bad. No, don't do that. I can tell you, I know good pastors. I've been the one that is always talking about bad pastors, bad churches, and all kinds of stuff. I've been the one saying all that. Okay, but at the same time, I want to let you know, I want to announce to you, there are good pastors, good churches all around the place, and the church is very needed. Why you the verse say we dey call church bad? If e no affect you, you no supposed to vex. It's not affecting me, Mr. Ike John. And I know what's on your heart. I'm not going to respond to you. I never said, I never vexed that anything is bad. I'm only explaining to you how church is being run. And that's it. And if you have the right mindset, you will understand what I'm telling you. Nobody's forcing anybody to go to church. You know, you didn't come to church. Do you think it's affecting anybody? It's not affecting God. It's not affecting nobody. You go to church, you don't go to church. It's not affecting nobody. It's you. A lot of people go to church and they see the benefit of going to church. I've been going to church all my life, and every achievement I've made in my life is actually by somebody, by somebody in the church calling me to the side and telling me, "Why don't we do this? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do this?" So I enjoy going to church. I enjoy going to church. I go to church, number one, to serve God. Number two, to serve people. And number three, to get blessed. And when I go there, I will see somebody who is a real brother who will call me to the side and say, "Oh, why don't we try this? Why don't you try this? Why don't you try this?" It's a support group. If you don't understand the English, you need to go sit down and think, and think, just think about it, and stuff. And think that, what have I been missing? What have I been missing? You'll be missing a lot if you don't go to the real church. You go to the right church, you will get blessed. You go to the wrong church, you get very angry and pissed off, like Mr. Hike Ike John. You'll be very angry. You're going to be angry, and church will not make any sense to you. It's because you've tried something that you're not supposed to try. It's just like women trying a husband's house, and the husband is a bad person, and they got treated badly. So the first thing they're going to think about is that all men are bad. And now I want to let you know it's not all men. Not all men are bad. There are good men out there. All right. It is because of your ojukokoro. And it's ojukokoro with church too. People who go to church, they go to church because it's big. Oh, the church is big. Let's go there. So they go there. And then when they now see all of this stuff happening to them, then they now say, "Oh, church are bad. Every church is bad." No, it's not every church that is bad. It's not every church that is bad. There are good churches that you need to, attend, sit down in the congregation, and you will understand how it is. All right. Ever since I stopped going to church, my life has become 100 times better. It's because you attended a bad church before. If you go to another church who is actually good, your life will be 1,000 times better. 1,000 times better. All right. That's how your church is going to be, because you need that support group. You need them. Nobody should actually think of being an island. Don't be an island to yourself. Don't be. Find a living church. Find a good church to go to. All right. I'm not a fan of bringing people to come and pray for 7 days, 20 days, revival, 25 days. I'm not a fan of that. All right. I'm not. I believe people, you should have your own time. You have to have your own time to spend your time with your family, spend your time making money, spend your own time doing what you love to do. And when it comes to Sunday morning, you come to church and then you celebrate Jesus, touch other people's lives. In the church, you have a lot of people who don't have jobs. You have a lot of people who don't have jobs. Your responsibility may be actually showing them how to write a resume. Your responsibility may be how to go for training. All what you know is a thing for you to download into others. And as you're doing that, you become very happy. You'll be very happy when you see people getting results. You'll be very, very happy. At this moment, you might think your life is 1,100% better. But wait until you start touching lives. When you start touching lives, that's when you know that this is the reason God has called me to be a Christian. You'll be a Christian by touching people. You don't be a Christian by just sitting down there and letting people collect your money. That's not being a Christian. All right. Your life will be so better. Your life will be so better, so good when you start seeing yourself touching lives. But don't do it in the wrong place. If you want to know more about this stuff, you need to read about the parable of the sower. Read about the parable of the sower. He woke up in the morning, he was sowing seed, and he sowed some seeds on the wrong ground. The guy didn't get mad. He didn't get mad because the seed fell on the wrong ground. He continued sowing the seed. And you need to continue to sow the seed also. Just keep on going. You will find the right place for your life. You will find the right place. All right. So when you attend a church and you find out that this is all games, and all kinds of stuff, then you walk away. You walk away from it. And then you do another thing. Because this job that didn't pay you well, doesn't mean you're going to tell yourself, I'm not going to go to work again. I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go to work again. Don't do that. Okay? Don't do that at all. Okay? When you go to a place and you feel like that place is not the best for me, then go somewhere else. All right? Go somewhere. You continue to go. And when the job is not where you're supposed to, you don't like the job, you're standing all day. I don't like this job. You change your job. All right? You change your job. And that's why people get divorced. All right? They feel like, okay, let me try this. And this is not working for me. And because this is not working for me, they changed it. And they filed for divorce and said, "Well, I don't think I can do this. Instead of me killing somebody or somebody killing me or me killing myself, let me just have a change." And then they walk away from marriage to try it again. And that's why you see a lot of people that are divorced and they want to get married again. Some people got divorced and they are married again. Some people have been divorced 5 times, 5, 6 times. I've seen a lot of people like that. They've been divorced 5, 6 times, and now they're remarried again, and they're doing well stuff. So you don't because of one problem just give up on everything. Don't. That's not the right way to do things. It's possible for you to hate church or you like it. It's because you've been attending the wrong one. It's possible for you to hate your work, your job all day long. It's because you are doing the wrong job. If you're doing the right job, you'll be so happy to wake up in the morning to go there. When you go to the right church, you'll be very happy on Sunday morning to get your family together and go to the place and serve. It's a place of service, all right? A place of service, a place where you get served, a place where you serve also. So when you go to church and then you sit down and then waiting for pastor to just talk to you and say all of this mambo jumbo stuff, and then the next day is offering time, and then he start whining you guys to bring money, then you should know, and that's the place you are not supposed to be. All right. To answer your question, my brother, there are church goers and there are real Christians. There are church goers, there are real Christians. Church goers are different from real Christians. People go to church because it's a culture of we people in Africa. We always want to go to church. But some people go to church because they are real Christians and they're doing well for themselves. It's very important for you to acknowledge God in all you do. You can have all the talents in the world. You can be making all the money you can make. You don't need God to make money. You don't need God at all. You don't need God at all to make money. You don't need Jesus to make money. You don't have to pray to make money. All right. I've been saying this all the time. But one thing you need God for is that peace of mind, the peace to spend your money in the right way, that understanding that God exists and he should be served. And that particular part of it, you can't get it anywhere. For him giving you life, for him giving you all the opportunities you have, mercy of God. It's very important for us to serve God. When you when you get to that point in your life, you should understand it that there is somebody out there that is higher than all of us, and we need to serve him. We need to reference him. We need to celebrate him. All right. And that's the reason for church. It's a support group, it's a place of service, it's a place of worship. All right. It's a place where you learn. All right. So go there for that purpose. Find a church that will allow you to touch life. Find a church that will allow you to grow. Find a church where people go to and you feel like you need to touch them. You need to share what you have with them. Find those churches. All right. That's where you go to. And if you want me to name churches to you in Lagos or here in America, I will name some good churches because I've been going all around preaching everywhere. And wherever I go, I study them. And I know if this pastor has got the right mind or not. I know. I could see it. All right. I could see it. So it's your fault. be responsible for this. Don't blame it on somebody. Be responsible. You made the wrong choice. The wrong choices you make is going to get you angry. It's going to get you angry about church. You are the one that made that wrong choice to go to that place, and you are there and you're not happy. It's not because anybody pushed you there. You were the one that went there yourself. All right. The church were founded, established, asking people to come. You chose to go there. And then there are other good churches that you never wanted to go to. And those churches are actually good churches. All right. So thank you very much, everybody, for listening to that part of the show. And I think I'm allowed right now. If I have any other questions, I will definitely treat them. But if you don't have any other questions for me, I will just go straight to the point for today. Please be responsible. You know, where you are today, your level of anger is based on your choice, the choices you've made. That's what it is. All right, that's what it is. Somebody said my daughter attend COSA and I attend MFM. I prefer MFM. That's fine. You go there. You go to that point, that place. That's where he's doing it for you. Go there. And if COSA is the place for your daughter, let her go there. All right. We all must make we must actually make the choice, you know, for our lives. That's exactly what it is. Èyí wù mí ò wù ọ́, ló mọ ọmọ ìyá méjì jẹun lọ́tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀. Èyí wù mí kò wù ẹ́. And if you choose not to go to church, there's nothing wrong about it. You don't have to go to church to serve God. No. Being a Christian doesn't mean that you have to go to church. No. Being a Christian doesn't mean you have to go to church. The church doesn't make Christians. It's in your heart. You believe in God. You can stay in your house and sit down there and watch TV from morning till night. You're still a child of God. It doesn't change anything. All right. It doesn't change nothing. But the service part of it is what is now missing. And the service part of it, that's what's missing. When you go out, you know, when you go out and do things, touch other people, that's the most beautiful moment of your life. If you're being allowed to, if you're being allowed to, it's a beautiful moment. Somebody said pastors should preach more about Christ's love and salvation more. Yes, I think so too. I think so. I think we should do that more. Uh, you know, Salvation, the Christ love, and all kinds of stuff. But you see, these days people preach what people love to listen to. People preach what people love to listen to, and that's where it's wrong. People love to listen to instant miracles. Oh, let miracles come right now. Miracles, miracles, miracles now. And that's where people want to go to. And when you see a church that is struggling, that are preaching salvation and they're struggling, people don't want to go there. They don't want to go to where their sins are being mentioned. They don't want to. I don't go to church, but I connect to God and I feel God. I talk to God and God talks to me. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to go to church. Even the Bible says, do not despise or whatever it is, the company of the believer. As in, like we need to always be around the believers, so that we could share knowledge with them. We could share knowledge with people. Okay, you would need people too. I remember some years ago, um, I was in New York. I was pastoring a CAC church at that time, and some of the members of our church decided to move. They left the church to go to a white church, and I didn't do anything. Um, I didn't disturb them. I didn't call them back. I didn't ask them to come back. Pastor Walistic, how you doing, bro? I didn't bother them. I didn't do nothing. So I let them go, because you have to pick where you want to be. Nobody should force you to be in anywhere. So I didn't. So many years after, probably like about 3 years after, their daughter um, started planning wedding. She wanted to get married. So the woman called me, Pastor Shola. I say, yes, ma'am. We want you. We want you to be the one to officiate the wedding, and I want you to invite all of the church members to come. And I asked the woman, I said, why, ma? He said, "Ah, because these white people don't know our culture. Oh." They don't know how we do our weddings and all kinds of stuff. That you are a Nigerian pastor, and then the church members will come in Buba and Iro and Gele and everything. I say, oh yeah, I quite understand that. I said, but how do you want me to share it at the church? Number one, the church members are going to bite me. They're going to bite me by saying, oh, the person that left the church that didn't come back, and now we want to go to our wedding and all kinds of. Oh, now he needs us. Wow, I didn't know. I didn't know it's been 1 hour already. I didn't know that. I didn't know it's been 1 hour already. Instagram just shut people down. So as I was saying, let's wait for Instagram to pop up. Um, so I said, how do you want me to tell people about this? It's a little difficult for me. I don't know how to tell people because the church members, they're all going to bite me. So she said, you have to find a way, sir. This. I said, for me, I don't have a problem with it. I'll come. Uh, I'll come over and officiate the wedding. I know the girl. I know you. You guys have been with us for over. You are with us for over 2 years, and now you need us. That we're gonna come. So I called the meeting, and the church council they kicked against it, and they told me no, we're not going. We're not going there. If you want to go by yourself, Pastor Jola, you can go. Nobody's here to hold you down. But for us, we're not going. And I called the lady back and I shared with her. I said, "Well, this is what they have agreed to, but I am willing to come and stuff." And the woman was very, very sad, very, very sad. So I want to buy. I want your buy. I want your buy and stuff. I do understand that people, even me, I actually did it. I totally disconnected from Nigerian society. I really don't want to have anything to do with them. I started attending a white church. It was good. I love it because no responsibilities, nothing. I just go to church, 1 hour service, and back in my house. All right. So, and I don't think anybody would tell me that I've not gone to serve God. It's 1 hour service and it's beautiful and I love it. And I love it. But a time came in my life that my people, my people are now needed around me. I need my people. At a point. So I was like, these white people, I love their service. It's very brief, it's direct. There's nobody complaining about what and what, no fighting or nothing. But this time around, I don't think these people will be in the best position for me to invite, to talk to. Then I need my people. So I decided at that point in time to look around for a church. And that was when I found Overcome Media. At that point in time, Yemi Adigu, she was in Oklahoma. I was in Oklahoma too. And so she messaged me on MySpace and she said, "Oh, are you a Nigerian?" I said, "Yes, I am." It was like, "Oh, I need to invite you to our church." And I was like, "Oh, okay." She didn't tell me the church actually is a CAC church because I've never been to CAC in my life. When I see CAC, I always run away. I was like, old people church, old people church. So she invited me. I said, "Is it a Nigerian church?" I said, "Yes, a Nigerian church." I said, "Okay, I'll come." So I, I, I jumped in my car that Sunday morning. I drove about 45 minutes drive all the way down there, and I got there. And the very first day I got there, and if there's anybody on this line who knew me at that time, that very first Sunday that I was there, there was a Thanksgiving service going on. And there were over 200 people at the church. Over 200 people were at the church at that time. And they had no keyboardists to play. And the singers were singing off key and all that. So I told the lady, I said, Is it possible for me to go and play the keyboard?" And the lady said, "Yeah, yeah. Can you play?" I said, "I can play a little." He said, "Yeah, you can play." I said, "Can I sing too?" I said, "Yeah." So can you sing? I said, "Yeah, I can sing a little bit. Better than this person that is singing right now." And that was how I they sneaked me all the way through the back, and I got straight on the stage and I plugged the keyboard in and I told the drummer, "Can you give me a high life beat?" And I started singing. I was playing at the same time, and everybody started dancing. It was so much of fun. was so much of fun and all kinds of stuff. On my first day, I started touching lives. My first day, I changed the face of the church. My first day, I was able to affect the service. My first day, I didn't wait for the second day. I didn't wait for the third day. I started doing what I love to do at the place. I was able to change the face of the music of the church. And the pastor called me after, they called me after. Then I started going one time, then they called me for a revival, and I went for the revival. I played for the guy and stuff. And that was how I was being taken to New York to be a full-time pastor in New York, and I suffered. And I suffered for a few years, and then I started my own ministry, my own business. I started my business. I started renting out halls. I was doing, online radio, and I started a recording studio. And that was what I was doing on the side. My salary then was just $1,000 a month, but I didn't just stay there. I knew that I have more responsibilities than this, so you know I need to do something more just to be able to make life better. So I rented the hall. I started renting it out to people who want to do parties and stuff. I put the old musical instrument there that anybody coming, you don't have to bring musical instruments, you don't have to bring a DJ, you don't have to bring anybody. So I started doing that. That was it. Okay. And I started doing the church. So I went for the wedding. Eventually I went for the wedding, and there were just only few Nigerians there. And it was more like I don't know what to call it. But I did it. I officiated the wedding, and it was nice. And we sat down. They didn't serve us Nigerian food. They had to make all of this American whatever, and it was nice. And on my way going, I told the woman, I said, "Madam, don't worry about it. It's all well. Party's fantastic and all that stuff." And but one thing I want to share with you is that you will always need your people. You will always need them. No matter how troublesome they may be, no matter how bad they may be, no matter how they are, hmm, no matter how they are, um, I want to let you know that you will always need your people. You will always need them. Always need them and stuff. And it's the fact. You might think you don't need them right now. You will need them later down the road. You don't have to go to church. It's not compulsory for you to go there. Nobody's forcing anybody to come there. But one day you will know that you will need people. People are very, very important in our lives. All right. So briefly, I'm going to, Pastor Shola, how do you handle a husband that quarrels with you when you pay tithe and first fruit? I will quarrel with you too, Sister Ngozi. Okay, I will quarrel with you because whatever it is that you want to do as a family is supposed to be agreed on. It's supposed to be an agreement between your husband and yourself. You cannot just carry money and just go give somebody. You can't just carry money and go give somebody. I don't believe in first fruit. No, I don't believe in it. I don't believe in tithing too. I believe in you supporting the ministry, supporting the church. I believe in that. If you choose to pay tithe, that's your own belief. You chose to do it. It's working for you. Good for you. But when it comes to giving out money, it's supposed to be agreed on by you and your husband. You cannot just carry money and just go give somebody. I'll tell you a story. Um, I was in New York that time too, and one particular lady, the husband gave her, I think, $3,000 to pay the rent of the house. And that day, there was a pastor in town. I think it was Ayo Risaja or something, or I can't remember. There's this pastor. No, no, no. It's this pastor in London. This London pastor. I can't remember his name again. If I remember, I will tell you guys. That pastor was in town, and the lady went to church with the money in her pocket. And when she got to church, the pastor started preaching about God will multiply you, God will do this, God will do that. All you need to do is just to bring out. Um, Somebody said I disagree with that. I want you to tell me what you disagree on, Sister Bimbo, Jesus. Tell me what you disagree on, and I will respond to it. So the man started preaching. I was preaching, and he preached about when you give, God will multiply you. By Monday morning, you never believe what will be in your account. All right. So the woman actually brought out the $3,000 that was supposed to be meant for. I was meant for the rent, and she put it in the offering basket with her faith. Pastor Matthew Ashimolo, thank you very much. I'll put it in the offering basket. And on Monday, she quickly went to the bank and nothing in the bank. She waited until Tuesday, nothing in the bank on Tuesday. So the husband actually asked her on Wednesday. The landlord just called me. Why haven't you? Uh, why haven't you paid the mortgage, the rent? I was like, and then she started stammering. And the husband said, well, go and pay it. And I'll tell the landlord you're paying it today. So the woman opened up and said, well, I was at the church and this is what the preacher preached about. And I decided to put the whole money in the offering basket, but till now, there's no money in the bank account yet. And the um, the husband got pissed off and then took the woman in the car and he drove down to the church. And when they got to the church, they met the pastor of the church, and the man went crazy on the pastor. The pastor had to call his wife to come and sign a check for them. And the man said to them, I am not collecting 3,000. I am going to be collecting $6,000 from here because you guys promised my wife that the money is going to be double. So that double portion of it, I have to collect it. So I'm collecting $6,000 today. And that was what he collected. He collected 6,000. Went to pay for the rent, and then 3,000 for them to jollificate and all kinds of. And that was the last time that woman went to church. And the guy stopped going to church also because of that issue, right there. Okay, so you see what I'm saying right there. If you choose to do something, do it because there's an agreement and there's understanding. Lack of understanding will make you just to follow the word of a person without understanding it. If I want to preach that message, as per God will bless you when you give to His work, I'm not going to preach it like that. I'm not going to cajole you. I won't. He said, what I'm going to tell you is that when you give unto the work of God, God will bless your work. Okay? Because God will bless your work. It's not that God will bring money into your bank account without you working. A lot of Nigerian Christians just love that part where we say, the money you did not work for will come into your bank account. The money you did not work for will come into your bank account. It's because we have this armed robber or armed robbery mindset in Nigeria. Nigeria's an average Nigerian guy is a thief. He's a thief. They pay tithe because they believe that God will bring money to them. And that was the reason why one guy made a video that was saying, I want to collect all my money back. I don't want to sow into heaven anymore. Okay, that's lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge. Any money that you give to church is actually part of what God has given unto you. And then God will continue to bless your work. It's not about you sowing it just because you want to make money back. When you give money to the church, doesn't mean that you are making money back. And as a matter of fact, you're not giving the money directly to God. You're only giving it to the work of God. God doesn't need your money. It's the work of God that needs your money. It's the ministry, the church that needs the money to be able to pay bills and all kinds of stuff. So when you give with understanding. You don't just give to God. God doesn't need your money. The church needs your money. And the church is owned by God. All right. And if the church is owned by God, there's supposed to be accountability. What is the money being used for? We must know. What exactly are you asking for money for? All right. We have been paying all of these building funds for a long time, and yet we don't have a building yet. Or the pastor is changing his car like every month. The pastor is actually changing his home like every year. The pastor just bought a jet and all kinds of stuff. That's where you're supposed to question it. Okay. Why are we giving all of this money? And pastor is the only one that is making the money and getting money and being blessed. All right. You need to understand how to give. So when you give your offering, your tithe and your offering, and then you pay first fruit, all right, it's supposed to be based on agreement between you and your husband. And one thing, guys, that I want you guys to do is that, men, it's difficult for you to see a man that is easily scammed. Very, very difficult. Very difficult for you to see a man that is easily scammed. All right. They always have that brain to question things. Majority of men, not all men though, majority of men, they have that brain to question stuff. Why? Who? Why did you ask you for this? No, please. All right. So when you want to actually give money, you give money based on agreement in your home. You don't want to destroy your marriage. That's why we say communication. Communication is not just talking, talking, talking. Communication is actually making points. All right, this is what I want to do. What do you think about it? That's what communication is. This is what I want to do. What do you think about it? Let him have his own say. Let him give advice. Let him say yes or no. All right. Then you are communicating. That person you're talking to is responding back to you by saying no or by saying yes. When they say no, it means that this communication must continue. All right. I'm not just convinced. I'm not yet convinced about this. Well, I've not been able to convince my husband into giving this money. So I have to wait a minute and then convince him. And if he says yes, then we go. If he keep on saying no, that means it's no. And when your husband is saying no, it's no. Your husband is the head of the home. If he's saying no, it's no. And that's it. All right. So and the part of tithe that I just actually spoke briefly about is that I believe more. I believe more in you supporting the church. All right. Have a kind of amount of money that you feel like, okay, this is what is comfortable for me to give to church. I'll give it to church and I'll come and do whatever it is. You see, to support the church and to do whatever. So for our own church, we actually give church support. We don't do tithe. We don't do tithes. We do church support. Okay. Everybody will say, okay, well, instead of me giving $7,000, instead of me giving $700 to church every month as tithe, I can only afford to give $200. I can give $400. And then if everybody agrees to $200, and then I myself will give $200, and then that's actually going to be enough money to pay the bills of the church, so be it. Let's do that. Let's just do it and let the church continue. And everybody's supposed to volunteer. The pastor is volunteering. The church members are volunteering. We're all coming in. We have a meeting place that we all must to gather. All what we're doing is actually referencing God, and then serving each other, one another, and then making sure that that place is maintained properly. So that when we invite friends and family to the place, they will see a beautiful auditorium, a place where it's comfortable for them to sit down. So you see, that's why we don't do that. We don't enforce, you have to bring tithe. People are actually so angry these days because they've been paying tithe. Like even me, myself, I paid tithe. I paid tithe, for a long time. I received the blessing of it. But with the lifestyle of pastors we see today, the kind of ways they live their lives and stuff, made us to go back to the Bible. When Daddy Freeze came up with that issue, we went back to the Bible to study it. And then we all came back to now understand that Jesus Christ is not demanding for tithe. Uh, Judaism is different from Christianity. Christianity demanded for tithe, but Christianity is demanding for your whole. It's doing for 100% of you. As in, not like you bring 100% of you, into the house of God, but God wants to know exactly what to use your money for. You must use your money in a godly way, to actually show people that you are a child of God. Okay, even your life, you must live your life in a way that will actually propagate the gospel for people to know that this is a child of God. And that's the way you live your life. You don't live your life anyhow, believing that, well, I've paid tithe, money will always come to me. Don't squander your money. When you squander your money, the tithe is not going to be able to help you. All right. The tithe is not going to bring money that you didn't work for into your bank account. The tithe is just mainly to help the synagogue. But now we're in Christianity, that tithe, I mean, that seed, such support you're giving is actually going to be helping the church to pay bills. And that's the way church is supposed to look like. Now, if you have excess in the account, we quickly just move it to the welfare department. That the welfare department is to help people who are actually not having, people who are lacking. People who are lacking in one thing or the other, then they help them. Oh, this person doesn't have food. Then you give money for food. This money can't pay his rent. Then you help them to pay their rent and stuff like that. And you don't just help people to pay their rent like every month. You need to actually ask them to go to the counseling department. Let the counseling department know, why are you not making money? Okay, we just paid your mortgage or your rent last month. What could we do so that you yourself could start paying the mortgage by yourself? What do you have? What do you do? What kind of business do you run? What's your level of education? Because some people don't have information. Some people don't have information, and lack of information will end you up in poverty. And some people, they have this information in their hand and they are really using that information to make money. We need to share that information with you. We need to share it with you. We put you in a kind of a little class where we teach you what to do. Have you tried this? Have you tried this? Have you tried this? So when you now try it, then we will be able to know maybe you are a lazy person, or it's just that you don't have information. Some people, they have information, but they're just generally lazy. They just don't want to do anything. So they want to always come to church to actually let the church pay their bills for them, collect money from the church and all kinds of stuff. You see, that's where we're going to know that this person is just generally lazy. Maybe this person needs deliverance. He needs a little bit of therapy. He needs a bit of counseling. And then we, take that up on ourselves to do that for you, counsel you, send you for therapy and all kinds of stuff, just to get your life better. That's the church. That's what the church is all about. It's very important for us to go there. It's very important for us to go there. And then we get there and you see how it's going to work for you. All right. So it's not just about we hating church. You hate the church where you are because you are a victim there. And you push yourself into the place. Nobody begged you to come. Nobody forced you to come there. You went there by yourself. All right. There are some churches, many churches that are well organized, that they are very the accountability of the church is out of the roof. You will be able to know where your money is going to. You will be able to know how much you guys are contributing every month. And then that will be used to actually maintain the building, the church auditorium, so that, on Sunday when you come back, the church will still be available to you. So for those ones, that person who asked that question, please don't just give money to church, especially that first fruit. I don't believe in it. I don't believe in it. Keep your money for yourself. Save your money to do great things for yourself. All right. Buy a house. The pastor will come and dedicate it and be happy with you. All right. Don't be giving your money, your money, your money. The money you're supposed to use. The money you're supposed to use to be able to bless your life. Don't just be giving it. All right. Give whatever it takes to maintain the church, whatever is within your power to maintain the church, your support for the church, you give it. The rest of your money, keep it in your pocket. All right, save it. I've shared it with you guys before. One man of God came to our church and was asking people for 1,000 and all that. I told the people, go and open the account. Go and open a bank account and save that 1,000 every month. That 1,000. If you are able to bring that 1,000 and come and give to a man of God, that means you have more than that. That means you have more than that 1,000. So what you need to do is to go and open a bank account and keep that 1,000 every month. The extra you're having after you finish paying your bill, that extra that you have, go and be keeping it into one account. At the end of the year, you're going to have 120. You're going to have $12,000, and $12,000 is actually 3% down payment for a house. And you're able to put it down, and then you buy your own house, and that becomes an investment for your future. All right. And if you live in Nigeria, you can save that money. And then at the end of the year, you can bring it out and buy a plot of land. And then the next year, you can start laying the foundation and start building. The moment accommodation is out of your life, retirement is going to be easy. Retirement will be very, very easy for you. The moment house is, there's no problem about accommodation, the moment you don't have that issue of accommodation, when you become 70, you won't be paying no rent. Life is going to be easy for you because the little money you're going to be making from your kids or the little money you're making from your investment will be able to give you food. How much food do you think you're going to eat? By the time you become 70, you're only eating one time in a day. And you don't have to prove anything to anybody. You're not buying Gucci, not buying anything. You just want to maintain your life. Accommodation is the major problem. And that's why you want to move to your kid's house. That's why you want to go to this person. But when you have your house paid off, all right, you have your house paid off and you have your own house, you're fine. All right, Pastor Shola, this is one of the reasons some Nigerian pastors don't like you. But I like them. I like them. I just want them to do the right thing. The sheep that we're pastoring, we're supposed to pastor them by having interest in their life and their future. You plan their future for them. We plan their future for them. All right. So you see, you now save that money, and that money saved, you can buy a plot of land and build the house. And when you build the house, the moment accommodation is out, retirement is no longer blurry. Retirement is blurry right now. You're so worried right now. You're living in a rented apartment and you're giving your first fruit. You're giving your first fruit. You're stupid. Very stupid. I'm sorry to say that. You're stupid. A very stupid person. That pastor you're giving your money to, that guy, he's got like 17 houses all around. He's even building a house for his own children. All right, he's building houses for his kids, saving money for his children. But you are not wise. You have been cajoled. You've been cajoled. You've been fooled. About all just bring it. All you need to bring is the church support. I've given my church support for this month. Then the mortgage will be paid. I mean, the rent of the church will be paid, instrumentalists be paid, and all kinds of stuff. We're going to enjoy the church. But now, what are you doing for yourself? How are you planning for your own life? That's what matters. By the time you're old, the church will not give you accommodation. All right, it's not. God is not going to bring accommodation to you. It won't do that. All right, there's certain things God can do that it will not do. There's certain things that God can do that it will not do. And if He's not doing it for the unbelievers, He won't do it for you too. And that is where it's a little bit complicated. That a lot of people go to church with their brains removed. And when you go to church with your brain removed, you will fall victim of this stuff. And then pastor will live the best of life. Pastor will wear the best of clothes and shoes and wristwatches, and then they live in the best apartment and the best everything. And you will just be there and you'll be languishing in pain. And that's where you're going to now be very angry about church because you didn't choose right. You didn't choose the right things. All right. You didn't choose right. All right. You need to have savings. You have to save your money. If you have extra money after you paid your bills and stuff like that, it's not the time for you to throw it around. Don't throw that money around. There's a day that you're going to need it. A day you're going to need it. I remember when I was in New York, somebody advised me, said, can you sign up for this mutual fund account? I was like, no, I don't want it. And the person said, oh, you're going to need it, sir. I said, no, I don't want it. And the person started showing me some of the church members with $120,000 in their account, 200,000 in their account. I was like, whoa, really? But how? They said they started like about 10 years ago, and they were putting money away, saving money for the rainy day. I was like, whoa. It's like me, I'm depending on God. I was like, God is my insurance. Man, I was like, oh my God. I'm depending on God for my life insurance for my life. The brother told me, he said, no, God is not your life insurance and God is not your medical insurance. God is your eternity insurance. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. I said, that's why the government is collecting insurance for your car. That's why the government is asking you to go and have life insurance because God is not going to do all that for you. You're going to do it for yourself. Yeah, I didn't know. So I started with $50. Then I started with $50, and then at the end of the year, they're not going to send you any sleep until the end of the year, 12 months. Then I saw how much I have. I was like, whoa, this is great, and I didn't feel it. So I was like, let me make it $100. So I changed it to $100, and then they started taking $100 from me. At the end of the year, they sent me the sleep. I was like, whoa, this is great. I love this. And I changed it to 1,000, and I started doing 1,000. And I'm still doing 1,000 to today. All right, they collect 1,000. They take 1,000 from my account. Whenever there's money there, they take it bit by bit by bit. 20 today, 30 tomorrow, 50, 100. This at the end of the month, they have taken 1,000, and I didn't feel it. Okay, it's every time I go to my bank account and I see, oh, I still have 1,000 left I didn't spend after payment. Then I can do some nonsense with that money. But instead of me doing nonsense with it, this company will just withdraw the money from my account. At the end of the month, I'll just look at my account. I just have $30 there. Then I was like, good. I was like, I love this and stuff. So at the end of the year, they're going to send me a slip and say, oh, now you have $10,000. Now you have 20,000. Now you have $100,000 in your account and stuff. So I decided, I said, okay, that's good. I'm going to do 3 of them. So I did one for college fund for my kids, and I did one for retirement, and I did one for just savings. And then they start taking money out of it, and my bank account is always empty, zero. I was like, oh, I got no money, but thank God I paid my mortgage, I paid everything. Everything has been paid out, and now I'm fine. I don't have to worry about it and stuff. I've already given my church support. I've already paid my church support to the church. They're not going to bother me with any money after this. There's no money for that, money for this, money for that, or whatever. Even the church anniversary, you're going to have a little bit of change every month. You can't spend it all. You're going to have a little bit of change every month to actually be able to actually run the church anniversary, the church convention, and all kinds of stuff. And then if we need some stuff and we announce that we need some stuff support, it's not a do or die. If you have it, to do it. If you don't have it, you don't do it. If you feel you want to do it, then you do it. But make sure that particular lifestyle of you saving money, you don't interrupt it because of anything. You don't interrupt it. Don't interrupt it. Uh, you know, based on anything. Don't. You have developed that lifestyle of saving or your money. Just continue to save it. Even though people don't believe in savings, the people believe that Yes, I'm telling you. And people don't believe in service. People believe that, oh, we're supposed to live our life day by day and stuff because we don't know when death will come and all kinds of. Of course, it's true, but you see, the issue is that how about if you didn't die? How about if you didn't die early? How about if you live to be 100 years old? How about if you live to be 70 or 80? How about that? All right. You see, you have to be afraid of the unknown. You have to be worried about the unknown. That's why you have to save so that you will be able to now say to yourself that I don't have to worry about nothing. It doesn't matter how small your savings is, at least it's going to carry you for some time. In as much that you have a house that you're living in, you have a tiny car you're driving, you are going to be fine. You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about it. All right. Stop throwing your money away. Stop doing that. Stop throwing your money away. All right. By giving money to the church doesn't mean God is going to bless you. No, no. People don't give. People are not giving money to church and they are actually making money. Making money is not by giving money to the church. You are only supporting the church so that the church will be there for us to come to and be able to support each other and have fellowship. That's what the money you give into church is for. All right. If you give money to church, it doesn't matter. You can still be poor. If you don't give it to God, to church, you'll be rich. You can still be rich. The way to be rich, the principle of making money is not by giving money to the church. You give money to the church will exist. And you may not exist. All right. So you need to first of all learn that principle of making money, and that is what is going to give you money, and God will now start blessing that means. That means you have to have something you're doing. Don't just be giving money. When you give money, you think that, okay, I'm sowing a seed, it's going to come back to me. Press down, shaking together. You're lying to yourself. Okay. Giving money to the church doesn't mean that you're going to get money back. Okay. All right. You have to learn the principle of making money to be able to make the money. All right. So when you now put that into play and you have that multiple streams of income are coming to you and stuff, it's because you've been able to utilize your gift and your brain, and then you put hard work behind it, and you're making the money. And now you feel like, okay, I want to bless the work of God more. All right. Formerly, I'm giving 200. Now I want to give 400. Now I want to give 500. And then you can do that. Then you do that. And then you do that and stuff. So you have to have multiple streams of income coming into you. And when it's coming to you, then you can bless more people. Then you can decide to give money to the motherless babies, the widows, the people that are suffering. All right. People say, oh, my tithe is going to go to the suffering people. All right. Don't call it tithe. Okay. You are only supporting those people. All right. You're actually putting your money into charity. All right. So you can do all of that stuff. But whatever it is that you're giving to church, it's just a support. If you decide to withdraw your money and say, I'm not going to give money to the church, then the church will not exist. All right. And what will happen to the church is that the church is going to die because they might not be able to pay the bills. All right. But when you give your church support to the church, they will be able to pay the bills. And then when you come back on Sunday, the church is still there. And then whatever money that you have left, probably at the end of the month, you have like about $300 left in your account. And you feel like, okay, I think I need to do charity. I want to help motherless babies. I want to help the widows and all kinds of stuff. Then you can go and actually establish a non-for-profit organization, register it as a non-for-profit organization whereby you'll be sending money to people in Nigeria. You can buy bags of rice to send to people in Nigeria and all kinds of stuff, and then keep on feeding people and all kinds of stuff. For me, actually, I do, I don't know. I just want to say my mind. I just want to say my mind. And it's possible for you to disagree with me. I don't believe in people going to feed the homeless. I don't believe in it. I don't believe in you feeding the homeless. When you feed them today, who's going to feed them tomorrow? When you feed them today, who will feed them tomorrow? All right. I don't believe in you feeding the homeless. I believe in you, picking a homeless person one at a time. You feed that one today and sit him down and talk to him and find a way for him to get on his feet. All right. That's what I think. And that's what I do. I don't just go all around feeding homeless people. Feeding homeless people, you give them burger today, you give them French fries today. How about tomorrow? Who's going to feed them tomorrow? By the time you're gone, you will leave that area. You will leave those people alone, and then you're gone. All right. Who will feed them tomorrow? Nobody. Then they'll be hungry again. And then it's going to be back to square one. So, and then how about if you die? If you say, okay, I'm going to feed them until I die, how about if you die? And so who's going to feed them now? All right. And the best thing for me that I believe is that pick one homeless one at a time. All right. Feed that one, educate that one, push that person, let that person get a job, move him out of where he is, let him start living a life. Then he will become a savior to another person. So when you take one person out, that person will now grow to the extent that he will now be able to support another homeless person. And that homeless person will be able to support another homeless person. That homeless person will be able to support another and then that's how it's going to spread until you find out that there are no more homeless people in the society. Instead of we just saying, okay, let's feed them, let's feed them. Let's feed them, let's feed them, let's feed them. You feed them, feed them, feed them, feed them. All right. Who's going to feed them tomorrow? I don't believe in it. I don't believe in food pantry. I don't believe in food pantry. A lot of churches use food pantry just to bring people to the church. These people coming for food pantry, they're still hungry. All right, they don't have anything they're doing. And then you use food to cajole them, use food as a bait to bring them. And then they sit in the church for you to have a big congregation. And these people are still suffering and you are preaching Jesus to them. How do you want them to listen to it? It's not going to sink. They won't listen. It's not going to sink to them. The very first thing you got to do is to feed them for one day. You know, the moment you feed them one day, then sit them down and then talk to them. What do you have? What have you been doing before? Are you an American citizen? Yes. Are you able to get a job? Yeah. What's your level of education? And let there be a department where they will be pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. Some will go back to school, and then let the church. Uh, and then let's go back to church. Let's go. I mean, let's go back to the welfare department and let the welfare department help them to pay their school fees. Let the welfare department help them to get an apartment for them to live. And as they finish school, and then let them get a job, no matter how small the job may be. And if you feel like you want to give them a job in church, you can give them a job in the church to come and sweep and clean the bathroom and pay them just a little money just for them to feed. And then give them that mindset that you have to work to make money. You know that you're just sitting down in the corner of a place and just put that I'm looking for job. I'm looking for someone to give me food. All right. Give them a little job. Let them cut the grass. All right. Let them clean the surrounding. Let the surrounding be clean. That's your job. And at the end of the month, the church will pay you this amount of money. And that's how you take them away from the street, one by one by one by one. And if you actually do this in Nigeria, you will be very shocked at how many people will come into limelight. All right. It's just that we Nigerians are very greedy people, very, very greedy. And at the moment you are making money from a place, you don't want to share with another person. You don't want maybe that person will be better than you. Maybe they're going to fall in love with that person and then they disconnect from you. So you'll be thinking about all manners of things not to make it happen. The moment they help one person in Nigeria, that person will just close the door on every other person. Just close the door on every other person. Tell you. Well, I think I gotta go now. I didn't get to treat the topic. Maybe I have to come. Maybe we have to come back and treat the topic later. I love it when people take me off of script. I love it when people take me off of script, and then we start discussing all this good stuff. All right, it's very nice. I love it. I always love it for us to do so. It's been a long time I've spoken about church system, and this is actually fantastic here. So my summation is that there are good churches and there are bad churches. There are good pastors and there are bad pastors also. Wherever we go, let us make sure that wherever you choose to go, that's your responsibility. Don't blame it on nobody. Please, don't blame it on nobody. You choose to go there. You choose to go there. And I want to warn you, Nigerian churches are full of drama. Taiwo Ilade, thank you, my dear. Nigerian churches are full of drama. Always have it at the back of your mind. You are going there to serve. Going there to serve. Pastor Jola, I have this idea in my heart, but it will be centered for men, helping men to be equipped, self-employed, and giving them a chance to stand on their feet. I am telling you, Brother Olu, you are talking good. And that's what is on my mind. That's what's on my mind. The problem we are encountering, because I've tried it many times, the problem we are encountering is that Nigerian men will not come out and say, I need help. They will rather be suffering in silence. It will be at the point where people will stop worrying about what people will say, what is going on in the mind of people. I think it's better for me. I always open up. When I need help, I will say, I need help. Oh, I need help. Oh. People will say, Pastor Jola, Almighty, Pastor Jola. I say, Almighty. Kí ló ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀? Kí ló ń jẹ́ Almighty. It's all mouth, oh, no money. You need to help me. Oh. It's all mouth, no money. I did it again 2 days ago. I went to sit down with some people. I told them, I said, listen, Pastor Jola is all mouth, no money. Oh, help me. Oh. Show me the way. Oh. How can I make it in my life? I don't want to be like this. I want to be able to secure the future. How? Enjoy and me low. And those people started laughing. I was like, níbi eré láti ń mú òótọ́. Níbi eré báyìí láti ń mú òótọ́ o. Ẹ ràn mí lọ́wọ́ o. Ibi tí mo kù sí rèé o. Ibi tí mo lágbára sí, ibi tí mi ò lágbára sí rèé o. Mo nílò ìrànlọ́wọ́ yín o. African men will never, they will never come to you to say, I need help. All right? They will never come and say, I need help. They go to men's fellowship to just booga themselves. They go out and booga. Maybe I don't mind though. I can come to you, Olu. Olu, please, Olu David, please teach me. Teach me. Daranijo Juma, teach me. I will come. I will sit down to learn. And then I'll finish learning. I will pick another person to train. I'll pick you see, I don't have that mindset of somebody is better than me. I don't have it. If you're better than me, that's good. That's your standard. That's how you look at it. You can't be me. I'm sorry. You can have more money than me, okay? But you can't be me. You can't be me. You cannot be me. I am actually one. There's only one Shola Adioye. There's only one. And this is the one. If you think you are good, be good to yourself. In your own calendar, be good. You are not good in my own calendar. You can't be better off than me. I can teach you what I know and do what you want to do with it. That's it. If our men, if they will actually be willing to speak out, help is everywhere. We have help everywhere. Even women will help them. Women will help them. I directed one particular guy, as he said he wanted to do IT. So I directed him to go and meet one of my ladies who are into IT doing the training. And the lady, the first thing the guy asked me was like, is this a girl? I said, yes. He said, pastor, about me walk on it. I was like, why? I said, this guy is good. This guy is so good. She will lead you and take you to the right direction. The guy refused. Just because it's a lady that wants to teach him. Doesn't want a lady to teach him. To teach him. I think African men are scared of being judged. Judge of what? Judge how? What do you mean judged? They block me all the time. They put my name on so many things. They put my name on so many things. And that has not stopped me from doing what I'm still doing. It has not stopped me from doing what I'm doing. They put my name on everything. Pastor Shola Diso, Pastor Shola. People still come on my show to insult me. They come to insult me. That's not stopping me. At the back of my mind, I always believe that people without brain will not understand what I'm teaching. What I'm teaching is actually something is mind blowing. It's something that will bless your life. So if you feel you want to attack me, you can do so all day long. It's not really affecting me. It's not changing anything about me at all. It's going to be until people will get to that point whereby you'll understand that life is full of ups and downs. People will attack you. The devil will always use people to attack good things. To attack good things. And you are going to be the target. If you're actually delivering people and saying this stuff that I'm saying, you are going to be target. I can never ask God, why me? Why me? What do you mean, why me? I know I can't ask God that question. That question is not for God. The moment I picked up the microphone and said I want to start teaching people, that's when I found out that I'm going to be attacked. It took some time for me to get used to it. But I got used to it. I got used to it. There's nobody judging anybody. You are the one that could judge yourself. People will say, they will say it. People will say all kinds of stuff. They will say any kind of stuff that pops into their head. They will cook up a lie. They will do whatever, But it is you that must not be distracted. Don't get distracted. Don't get distracted. Go ahead and find someone to teach you something. They will laugh at you. Money. Now, money, they stop nonsense. Yomi, my people, money, they stop nonsense. If you don't understand, let people say all manners of things. They will say because they are poor. When people are poor, their mind is polluted. They will get angry. They will say all kinds of stuff. But when you get money, by the time you start making money from that thing that they taught you, and that money go stop nonsense. Money go stop. You don't have to give anybody money. You don't have to bribe nobody. Your life alone will stop the nonsense. Now money, they stop nonsense. Okay, go and make the money. You will see that nonsense go stop. Nonsense go stop. The same people that are saying you are a bad person, you're a bad person, they will see you in the street, they start prostrating to you. The people that are attacking you, they will see you on the street. They will start prostrating to you. Now money, they stop nonsense. Don't stay where you are and just be there and just looking for pity party. Don't be joining the carcass of people saying bad things about other people. All right. If you want to say something about other people, make sure you dig well and you know this is the truth. Then you support. Don't just be angry for no reason. And the moment they actually post something and then you to go there and start saying bad things about other people, it's stupid. It's stupid. It's stupid stuff. Very stupid stuff. And what they're doing, you are praying for yourself not to get to that point. And you will never be prosperous. You'll never, those kind of people they don't see prosperity. If you want to prosper, I'm telling you, want to prosper, you have to be happy. When somebody is happy and they're doing well, be happy for them. Be happy for them. And that's it. They're talking about Banky W and all kinds of stuff. So I posted his video, his picture with his wife on my page, and people came to my inbox and started talking nonsense. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, you're bad. Oh, you're a stupid pastor. Oh, you're antichrist. If somebody went and cheat. And me, I didn't respond. I was just looking at them. I said, I love this family. I love this family. Whatever waves and storms they are going through, God will settle them. We are not supposed to be the catalyst. We are not supposed to put fuel into their lives. And that's why a lot of celebrities die before their time. The society is killing them. If somebody will say something about them right now, everybody will amplify it. Everybody will start putting stories. And these days of social media, that people are making money. People are making money on social media now, and bad news sells more than good news. If somebody just passed the exam right now, nobody will talk about it. If somebody just buy a new car right now, nobody will talk about it. If somebody just gain admission to college, they will not talk about it. Let that person just make one particular single mistake like this. Every social media will carry it. We carry this is the deal. This is it's very funny. But one thing I wanted to have at the back of your mind, one thing I have to happen before I go, let me say it. Uh, one thing before you go is that is it bad news carrier? They are agents or agent of prosperity. Bad news carrier, they are agent of prosperity. You see, when they carry you and they start talking about you all over, that's the time that good people will start Googling you. They'll go and Google you. And when they Google you, they come and watch your show or read your posts or something. And then they start jumping on your page and then start following you. and they start following you. And then that's how you get more following. And then people follow you, and then they come to your inbox and tell you this testimony that, oh, I saw you on this platform. They say you're a bad person. Now I come over here, I found out that you are not. And I just thank God for your life, for what you're doing. And that's how you now start harvesting people. Bad people, that bad news carrier. They are agents. God can use them to bless your life. So when you say, oh, I don't want them to do this, I don't want them to do that, or you are limiting your own prosperity, because God will use the devil, either you like it or not. God will use the devil to propagate you, will propagate your gospel, will send you all over the world where you have never been to. People will know you there when they carry bad news. It's just all this bad news about you, and then eventually it's a lie. And then people will now come and say, oh, so it's a lie. Well, thank God for it, because He has brought you guys to me. Now you see me. This is who I am. I'm not a cheat. I'm not a thief. I'm not nothing. All right. And then that's when those people will now stay there. Oh, guys, it has been good. Very good day. I really appreciate all of you guys for always coming around. I will bring my topic, marital situations. Marital issues could lead to depression if not handled properly. I will come to that one later, probably this afternoon, if I'm done with what I have to do today. All right. God bless everybody. Have a beautiful Monday, and we're getting ready for a new month. And I pray that every one of you will see that new month in Jesus' name. Have a beautiful day, ladies and gentlemen. I love you.